In the meantime, new controversy erupting around the movie American Sniper. First, Democratic National Committee Chair Howard Dean raising a lot of eyebrows after suggesting that the only people interested in seeing the movie are just a bunch of angry Tea Partiers.
There's a lot of anger in this country, and the people who go see this movie are people who are very angry. And this guy basically says, I'm going to fight on your side, and they bite for it. I think there's some, I bet you if you looked at a cross-section of the Tea Party and people who go to see this movie, there's a lot of intersection.
Well, that's not all. Michael Moore doubling down on comments that he made last week, tweeting, quote, I tried to save more lives than a sniper ever could hope to by preventing us from going to war in the first place. I'm the one who has supported these troops, much more than the bloviators on Fox News. Joining me now for some real talk, Ryan Lamke, retired U.S. Marine, Iraq War veteran, and Purple Heart recipient. Great to have you on the show. What's your general reaction to Howard Dean and Michael Moore and their criticism and some believe whacked out comments on why people would actually go to see this movie?
Well, first and foremost, I think the most disturbing statement about Governor Dean, or most disturbing aspect of Governor Dean's statement, was that he asserts that anyone who went to see this is a bunch of angry men. Is that assuming that the veterans who go see this movie are all angry veterans? I think that really need to be clarified by Governor Dean. As for Mr. Moore's statements, I really look at it and see, you know, not only is he calling snipers cowards who do one of the most dangerous jobs in the military, but he also went on to say invaders are even worse, meaning that every service member who volunteered to fight in Afghanistan, to fight in Iraq, were obviously even worse than how he views snipers. So are we worse than cowards? He did not answer for that in his most recent statement.
Yeah, you know, I think what bothers me so much about these comments, especially from Howard Dean, is to label people. I mean, to label millions of people who have chosen to go see this movie. Obviously, they're not all veterans. These are just regular people who decide to go out and see this movie. And to label them with terms like angry and Tea Partiers makes this a complete political discussion when it just doesn't have to be that way. Do you see it that way?
I fully agree. I actually think that anyone who goes to see this movie, they're not going for a political ideology to be espoused to them or anything. They're trying to see and get a glimpse of what it was like in the shoes of Chief Petty Officer Kyle and his struggles, not only in warfare, but when he returned home, his struggles with his family and his struggles to reacclimate to civilian life. And that's really the most powerful part of the movie.
Yeah, because actually this whole movie is not just about war, and why so many veterans have been in favor of it is because it shows the true depiction and some of the hardships that veterans go through when they do come home, as you just stated. You know, it strikes me also as interesting that only Tea Partiers would be going to see this movie. There's no way that it's only Tea Partiers, right?
Absolutely not. I mean, just if you look at the segment of veterans alone who go, veterans have a vast array of political beliefs, just like the rest of the American people. And, you know, it's a great story. It's a great way to understand the struggles that Chief Petty Officer Kyle went through and many other veterans struggle with as they return home from war. And I don't think that's limited to one political philosophy or another.
And it's so sad because, of course, Chris Kyle ended up being murdered when he got back here to the home front after 4 tours. I had the opportunity to interview his wife, Taya, about this movie, and she's a fantastic woman. So we're thinking about her because no doubt this is not, no day is easy for her. Ryan.